or they try to.
Welcome to the Pittsburgh Business Virgin, where we interview successful business owners to educate the virgin segment of the population who are thinking about starting their own businesses. I'm your host, Brad Hilbert, president of Three Rivers Wealth Management Group.
We're back with Noah Cohen, CEO and founder of Premier Innovations Group, which is a parent company for Clique, Vodka, and Don Pantaleone Tequila. To start off this segment, let's talk a little bit about some of the challenges you face. I know initially when we talked, you mentioned it took 3 years just to get your product onto the shelf. Being an international company, international suppliers and whatnot, what are some of the biggest challenges you faced in accomplishing that?
Well, I'm really glad that you asked me about it because international business is a new animal. And, I was 25 years old, 24 and a half when I started to do international business when we traveled to Eastern Europe to discuss the purchase of our product. And I think that for me, it was a real learning experience. And one of the things that I'd say is the hardest thing is translation. I mean, there's language barriers. In Mexico, my factory owner in Mexico for Don Pantaleone does not speak English. In Eastern Europe, they speak Russian and Latvian. They do not speak English. So, you have to...
Did you have to learn these languages? Or
no, I can't. I have a pretty busy schedule. And
I know how you feel.
It's
Nick sometimes struggles with English on a daily basis.
I got Rosetta Stone, though, so I'm working on it.
So we're working with them. It's getting better.
And
you guys didn't listen to the last segment. Yeah.
So I was having plenty of problems, too, in the last segment. So... In this case, it was very challenging because I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie. I can't think of what it was with Bill Murray, Lost in Translation. That was the movie where the translator says a bunch of stuff, and he says, "What did you say?" And it's like one word. That's the same thing here. Like, I'll say these things, and I think to myself, did my translator just say what I just said? Because I don't think so. And that's the hardest thing is, do you have a really good translator? Because if you're not going to do the language, and even if that's where I'm afraid. If I learn the language, I'll never be as good as somebody that's as eloquent as I am in English. So in this case,
negotiations are as tough as it is,
absolutely,
especially speaking in this one language, let alone two different languages. So
yeah, and I think that it's something that I do fairly well in English. So I don't want to. I'd rather have somebody that I feel when I sit down and talk to them that they seem like they're confident enough and good enough at it that they could say exactly what I say. And that's what I tell them. Please say exactly what I say.
Yeah.
But languages are different. So let's talk about the challenge of that.
But no, what's so, I guess, inspiring about what you just talked about is the fact that here you are at 24, 25 years old, starting an international company. So when we think about the business virgins that are watching this, and we were talking sort of, hey, you can spend $2,000 to start a company. You can spend $200,000. Different businesses have different price points that you need to spend in order to start them. But not just the money aspect, but what's very inspirational, I think, and the reason why I definitely wanted to interview you for the Business Virgin is here you are 24, 25 years old starting an international business. How many people are sitting there watching this right now who are 40, 50 and going, I wouldn't. You can. The answer is you can. You just have to do your homework. I think that's the biggest, and have the, I dare say it, brass,
exactly,
to go and do it. If you're really passionate about it, you can do it. Just go
passion.
Get it.
Definitely a lot of great points with what you just said, and that's what you have to understand. If you are looking at this and you're in your 40s and 50s and you haven't done what you wanted to do yet, then now's the time to start. And that's
don't be
what I
65
tell people.
And say I shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You only live once. Do it to the fullest. I mean, we talk about passion all the time within our business. Everybody's doing what they're passionate about, including myself, every single day. And I'd never spend a day not doing what I'm passionate about.
That's awesome.
So it is something where if you're not doing what you're passionate about, then you need to make changes, and you need to make changes now. And that's the most important thing. Yeah, the business was never easy. Language barriers, customs barriers, people that are different. We're doing business with different cultures.
Different cultures, absolutely.
The Russians, to be honest with you, if you're Russian, I respect you, but in the Russian areas, the people are mean. They're not. They don't care about customer service. You get what you get, and that's it. So deal with it. You can't go, well, I'm going to call a Better Business
And you
Bureau.
like it.
Yeah. There's no Better Business Bureau call.
Is that your Ivan Drago?
Nah, it's pretty I was trying to. That might have been the Mexican tequila. I don't know what that was. It was pretty bad.
With the Mexicans, it's great doing business with them. They're very nice, but things don't move as fast as you want sometimes. So you have to be tolerant and understanding of other cultures. In the United States, we think we're the best at everything, and we have to realize that you set your ego aside to do business. You don't operate with it, and you realize you're on their turf. And when you're on somebody else's turf, I'm sorry, but money isn't the most important thing sometimes. I've been told that no matter how much money I throw at something sometimes, it's going to get done the way they want to do it. So
real quick going on, Noah. Sometimes I was thinking about international, working in Latvia, which I didn't even know where it was before I met you. I had to look it up on a map.
He didn't know where New Jersey was either. So.
Jersey, JWoww and Snooki, right? Where do you even begin the process, if you could, in about a minute? Tell us how do you even find that place? I mean, I'm sure many people produce the products you're looking for, but how do you start to even get there?
Well, I had done several things with the other liquor company I was involved in this country, and so that was a good start. But I had actually had, with a federal importer's license, you're given the reign to be able to tour many different things, and you flash that permit internationally, and they're like, well, this guy could maybe buy something from us. So instead of all the people that are goofing around out there, I'm sure, so in different countries. So when you show that you're serious about doing business, you can pretty much get any product you want. So we sampled hundreds of products, maybe even thousands. I'm not sure of the exact number, but I tried in other parts of Europe too, and I just found that this vodka was just so smooth. And it's really because the Latvian and the country of Latvia has a lot of spring water under the ground, where there's a lot of well water in other areas of Europe. So, and then they're Russians, so they know how to make vodka. Russian production standards and Russian quality is amazing. Russian equipment is amazing, but the Russian water isn't as good as the Latvian water. So
what you're saying is you spend a lot of time traveling the globe drinking liquor.
Oh yeah.
Where do I sign up?
Yes, especially with the tequila. 22 Mexican factories. Talk about a good time.
Good times.
Definitely.
We'll wrap this segment up.
It's a hell of a job
on that one.
Somebody's got to do it, though. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I can see how tough it can be. Sounds good. No, I appreciate it. We're going to take a break from this segment. Make sure you stop by your local wine and spirit store and pick up some Clique Vodka and the Don Pantaleone tequila.
Very good.
We'll see you in a few minutes.
Because you can't print your own money without going to the Slammer. Three Rivers Wealth Management Group, in Pittsburgh for Pittsburghers. TRWMG.com. That's TRWMG.com.